Amazing audience, we are live with Jess Lindgren. Let Jess, yeah, shake it again. Oh,
These powerful
like
handshakes.
the powerful handshake.
In SoCal.
Oh, SoCal, yeah. It's been amazing. Like everyone has shaken my hand, and I'm like, should I firm up my handshake? Yeah. So how is it going? How are you doing?
It's fantastic. I'm doing really, really well. My husband and I just moved from Minneapolis, Minnesota to San Diego about 6 months ago, and it's pretty incredible.
It's the one place I haven't been though. I heard Minnesota is beautiful.
It's beautiful in the summer.
Okay.
I would definitely
It's
recommend
cool.
late spring through like late fall. Then you can go.
This is like the antithesis of that then, like in terms of the coolness to the heat.
Oh yeah, this is what August in Minnesota feels like.
Okay, all right. But you get this right through now that you've moved to this side. Yeah? You wanted that.
We did. My husband and I have put in, our 30-odd years of time in Minnesota. We never need to see snow again if we don't want to. And to be perfectly honest, we don't want to. Like, we're good.
That's good. So which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Wow, that's a really great question. I would say my talent is knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no.
Who did you learn that from?
Experience.
Okay.
And definitely from watching friends who have run their own businesses, worked remotely, worked from home. Like, I had a lot of friends who got into consulting and stuff, years ago, before the internet is what it is today, before co-working spaces were a thing, people who kind of drove themselves insane working 80-hour weeks at home. I'm just like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to put on real clothes every day. I want to go places, and I don't want to overload myself. I think a lot of people, when they start out an endeavor, whether it's freelancing, starting a business, whatever, they say yes to everything.
Sure.
And that's how you end up burnt out and exhausted and not doing your best work.
Yeah.
So really just experience of watching friends do that and saying, okay, I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna wait. Oh no, technical difficulties.
We're good. So someone says,
Laura, it's Laura.
Yeah, she was just here.
Laura,
actually.
I see your picture. I don't know what you're saying, but I can see you.
Yeah, we should be good, yeah. So, all right, so you did that. So what are you doing now? Like, what is your business that allows you to not have all of this burning out going on?
I am a freelance personal and executive assistant.
Ooh la la.
Very fancy.
So what do you simplify in terms of the operations, the administration, or is it an encapsulation of both?
It's an encapsulation of everything.
Okay.
So every client is different. Some people need 10% personal and 90% business. Some people need more like 70% business, 30% personal. Some people it's an even split. It just really depends on the person.
So explain to me, like, hey, I need someone right now, right? So I could be like the guinea pig, right? But let's say I want someone that helps with the strategy of my business. Are you doing that, or are you the person that's helping with the administration, like the email personal assistant type thing, like answering emails, getting information from clients, setting up emails, making sure I know who I'm speaking to? Like, what exactly are you doing?
Again, it's very different per client. So it's something that, like my current client, I do the bulk of his email management is definitely a big piece of that, and that ties into scheduling podcast guests, scheduling and arranging for his travel. So if he's going to go to a speaking engagement, let's say, like we were just at Podcast Movement, making sure that he has a flight, a car, a hotel room, knows when rehearsals are, knows where to be, when to be there, meeting him so I can escort him to those things, making sure, we also in Philadelphia did a couple of meetups, so making sure that those events get planned and are staffed and executed and catered and that stuff. So it's a little bit of everything. And even this last time around, like he asked me to pick up a shirt and tie for him. So that's where I say,
was it good? Was it a good pick?
Oh yeah.
She's fancy, folks. So what's the best place for us to connect with what you do?
The best place to connect would be jesslindgren.com.
Right. Spell that, yeah? Oh, we'll put it in there.
We'll put it in there. Jess Lindgren, JessLindgren.com. It's a work in progress, but I just got some fresh headshots. Gonna share it with the world.
Sure.
And that's the best place to get in touch.
That's good. Love that. What's one other thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
Ooh, over the last 3 years, consistently, I would say travel.
Ooh, how does that make you feel?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, because as an executive assistant, I've been an EA for 15 years now, and usually...
Say what EA means for us.
Executive assistant.
Right, there we go.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
Industry terms here, acronyms, short names.
She's good, yeah.
That
You're
kind of
in flow, yeah.
But it just means that as a traditional executive assistant, you're stuck behind a desk. You're always at somebody's beck and call. You know, if your executive is in China and they forget that it's 2 o'clock in the morning for you and they call you, you still have to like answer the phone call, even if you're on vacation, even if you're sleeping, whatever, they don't care. So I just kind of got sick of being somebody's insurance policy basically and being on call 24/7 for 10 years. So I decided to go freelance and made it very, very clear to my clients, I'm available like 9 to 5 during, you know, it had been Minnesota, so Central Time Zone or now Pacific Time Zone. But anything outside of that, you're going to pay for that because you have to respect my time. And I've spent a lot of time saying, okay, I'm going to go do this in Europe for a while. You know, so I've done 2 6-week stints in Europe, a couple of weeks in Mexico, weeks all over the United States. Like I've seen things and been places that I've always wanted to go. And with the advent of the way that the world is today, with internet, with laptops, with all that stuff, all you need is a place with reliable Wi-Fi. I can do 80% of my work from my phone.
Not even Wi-Fi. Like we're on hotspots like data, unlimited internet, so that helps. Like most times we get into places and we don't need to ask for Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi puts you in like a Starbucks sometimes. Yeah, but plugging in could put you anywhere.
You can do it. I have answered emails and run meetings and put out fires from the rim of the Grand Canyon. I've done it in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower. I've done it from a flat in Leith in Edinburgh. I mean, why stay at home if you're freelance and you're running your own business? You don't have to be, for me at the time living in Minnesota, I don't want to be in Minnesota in January. I want to be in Mexico in January. You know, I want to be in San Diego in February. I don't want to be there. So it's been really incredible and just really great. Like I said, you know, working for executives who kind of don't respect your time and your boundaries, and being in the position of power to say, okay, I'm available these hours, these days, and having people respect my boundaries and being able to set my own schedule and pick my own office.
But what's powerful too is you get more done though. Like you could make people's work get done in like 3 hours, right? As opposed to having to go through the bureaucracy of everything that goes with an office space. Like so you get the work done. Well,
because when you think about your to-do list, like when I was saying I schedule your travel, your meetings, whatever, and you were just like, you know how long that stuff takes. You know how much work goes into that. You know how much back and forth happens with that. You know, I can get all that stuff done in a fraction of the time because to me, it's not emotionally laden. You know, it's a to-do list. Like I'm here to make you happy and make your life easier.
I love that. Well done. Proud of you. Proud of you. Well done. All right. Let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine. That is surrounded with beautiful, warm blue Caribbean water. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Earliest childhood memory would be at the house that I grew up in. I lived there from age, you know, being born to like age 5, and then my parents and I moved to be in a different school district. But I remember being at that house and looking out the front window at my dog playing in the front yard.
How old do you think you were like at that specific time?
Probably like 3.
Why do you think that memory is so clear?
I don't know. Her name was Lady. She was a Springer Spaniel, and she was our dog for since I was 2 until I was 18. So she was our family dog for 16 years. And we've had really, really good luck in that regard. Like we just actually lost our second family dog last year. So we had, in my lifetime, we've had 2 family dogs.
That's a lot.
Which is like
a lot of
really
time
long.
for 2 dogs.
You know, not everybody is lucky enough to have that with their family pets, and I don't know, she was just a really good dog.
Can you connect that memory to who you are today though?
I would say, you know, going with the fact that she's a really good dog. Dogs are very loyal, very patient and kind. And I hope that I embody some of those. Definitely loyalty, patience, I hope, and kindness. I definitely do try to do, random acts of kindness or just be nice to people. Like, there's no sense in not being nice.
I love that. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
No, I'd love that.
I love the idea of the concept of seeing joy. Like you're working as a virtual assistant. Let's say, you're more than just not.
Oh yeah, I've never referred to myself as a VA.
Yeah, it's not like you're doing VA. You're all right. So anyway, you're being able to move in different places allows you to change the windows of where your joy is. So like you as a child looking out at Lady, the puppy, and seeing Lady enjoying herself was so important to you, or is so important, because now you're doing that. You're changing the window that you're looking out of every single time. So instead of just being in Minnesota, now you've created a job that allows you to experience those windows through your eyes in different ways.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. Like,
that's really amazing. That. I love that.
Yeah, I love it. And to see you here with the rose here, it just like represents a lady then, and who you are.
I like that.
Yeah, I could go on to, it seems as though you love your husband very much too.
I do.
But I could be wrong, yeah.
Oh no, he's the whole reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. A lot of people, he supports, but this kind of ties back to what I said earlier about people always needing to say yes. A lot of people, when they go out into business for themselves or start freelancing, you are under pressure to start making money.
Yeah.
I had the luxury of my then boyfriend, now husband. He owned the house that we lived in before he knew me. So like me saying, "Hey, I'm going to quit my job. What do you think?"
Yeah.
It wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah.
So having him there afforded me, and that's where I say I could afford to not say yes to everything, because I knew, and we had a very frank conversation, hey, here's what I can afford to do for the next 6 to 12 months. Even if I landed a client tomorrow, let's say January 1st, I land my first client, I work all month, I make $10,000, I might not see that money until mid to late February, maybe even mid-March, if they pay on time.
Yeah.
So, we're very open and honest with each other, because life is way too short not to be. Yeah,
I totally agree. I think there's going to be a space for you to help other people get to the place you are as well. So you should open that up, because I'm telling you, I'm listening to the conversation and I'm feeling as though there are other people that would want to get to that space. And as much as you do offer the assistance that you do offer, I think there are many people that would want to know how they can achieve that life as well. Just saying, yeah? All right. So anyways, if we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
Oh my gosh, 12. Let's see. 94. What was happening in 1994? Yes, I am 35. Nobody needs to do the math. When I was 94, what was even happening in the world in 1994? 12 would have been middle schoolish.
Yeah, grade 7.
So I grew up in a household with, my father had a really incredible collection of albums, like vinyl albums, all pristine, all still in their, cases, no scratches, no bends, no marks, no nothing. So I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock.
Yeah.
So I would say probably anything by the Beatles.
Okay, choose one. Hit me one.
Choose one. And I know this is what everyone says. I really love the White Album.
Okay, which is. Yeah.
But I love some of the. I would say the White Album is one of my favorite albums, but I would say song-wise, I don't remember which album this is on off the top of my head, but there's a really great song called "I've Just Seen a Face."
Okay.
And Paul McCartney sings lead on that. And it's just, I don't know, it's really sweet and really beautiful.
Yeah, it represents you. It's like looking through the window and even seeing Lady, right? Like, I've just seen a face of joy, a face of happiness. And I want to have that face too. But anyway, we'll leave that there. All right, so we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ready to do this?
Sure.
Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Not yet.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Maybe.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
3 hours a week?
Yeah.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? More than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Hopefully right around 8.
Okay, that's good for what you do. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents you, Jess, what would you say that is?
The statement that represents me? Ooh. Statement that represents me.
You can say pass if you want to.
Let's say pass.
All right.
I'll get back to you on that.
This is good. Jess, this was a great pleasure having you. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Just that this was really amazing. I'm so glad that you reached out on LinkedIn, of all places. Like, who takes LinkedIn seriously? If anybody takes LinkedIn seriously,
come on, I love LinkedIn. Yeah,
Angel, correct?
Yeah, you're good.
Angel takes LinkedIn seriously. I am so glad that you reached out. I'm so glad that I looked at what you were asking, and I'm so glad that I said yes. So thank you for putting this together.
I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you came because I had fun. And Laura is blowing up there. Like, do you know Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is like she's like my spare key person.
Oh,
like
yeah.
When we moved here, about 2 days after we moved in, I gave her a set of keys to my house, which has already come in handy.
Yeah,
like,
she's amazing.
She is incredible, and her dog Tuck is the best.
Yeah. Copy that, Pops, baby. All right. Well, thanks again for being here. Thank you for being on What Is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
High five.
High five.
Boom.